as we, and bewildered by the world we see. Why do people hurt us so? Only those in love would know what a town without pity can do.
The first federally designated casualty of that day, called 0001, was Father Judge, and he was a New York Fire Department chaplain. He was also a Roman Catholic priest, but he was a high-ranking member of NYFD. And he was administering to a stricken firefighter. He was giving him the last rites when the North Tower came down, and he died instantly, as did the firefighter that he was administering the last rites to. And there's a very famous photograph of him being carried away by 4 firefighters and an EMT. He was a big man, and they got him on a sheath of plastic, and he's in a seated position. There wasn't a mark on him, so I think when the tower came down, it was the shock wave of the pressure that killed him, but there wasn't a mark on his body, but you could tell by the gray pallor of his face that he was dead. He was number 1. One of the last to die on that awful day was Mark Bingham, and he was on Flight 93, and he rallied the fellow passengers. It was the only plane that didn't do its intended thing that day. It was about 10 minutes shy of Washington when they tried to take it back, and they ended up going into a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania at 580 miles per hour. So he was roughly one of the last to die on that day. So besides that strange juxtaposition there, and besides them being heroes, dying, defending their country, so to speak, or defending their comrades, they had something else in common. They were both gay. And other gay people died that day. Black people died that day. Jewish people died that day. Catholics died that day. 3,000 Americans died that day. And that, to me, is what the American flag represents. It doesn't represent the war in Iraq. It doesn't represent militarism. It represents this broad spectrum that makes up our country. I'm wondering what Father Judge and Mark Bingham would think about the Select Board 5 days ago when they unanimously, with no discussion whatsoever, agreed to fly an extra flag in the downtown, which I fully support, by the way, the rainbow flag. And the rainbow flag was put up in front of Town Hall to celebrate the 2nd anniversary of the Supreme Court in Massachusetts giving gays the right to marriage, which I also support, not just the legislation, but the flying of that flag. But I'm wondering, what would these guys think that within 30 seconds they transition to me, they unanimously support that, but then 30 seconds later they unanimously decide to take no position on flying the flags on 9/11. So I'm thinking Father Judge and Mark Bingham are thinking to themselves, oh, that's interesting. These guys are supporting unanimously the flag to celebrate our lifestyle, but yet they don't want to take a position on flying the American flag to commemorate our deaths.
No, it isn't.